You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. I'm here with Ryan Tellez. That's Tellez, in case anyone was wondering.
That's right.
Yeah, 2 L's on that.
2 L's, pronounced Tellez.
How's your mental health? How's anxiety, stress? Are you coping pretty all right?
It's okay. I'm finding ways, as we all are.
Are you still going to therapy?
I am. I had a session this morning.
Better help.
Better help.
I love it, man.
I think I told my therapist what my last name actually is pronounced this week.
Tellez.
Yeah, I don't think he knew.
It was like, Tellez, Mr. Tellez.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah, but it came. I
thought there was going to be something deep. Like I told my therapist this today.
No, but like I have one of those names where if you look at it, people, because I've had people that I've known for years, like that assume that it's pronounced a certain way, and then suddenly I say, no, it's actually this, because they've only seen it written down.
Yeah. Well, that happens on the podcast, right? We read names and we're messing them all up.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a patron. If you're a patron that supports the podcast and gives back, patreon.com/inside of you. We need your love. We need your help. So if you want to be a patron and give back, that's awesome. There's a lot of perks. Check it out. Patreon.com/inside of you. If you want to go to my Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum on the link tree, cameos, fun cameos, inspirational cameos. And, a lot of cons coming up, so check that out. A Smallville cruise, a Smallville con. We might even do another Smallville con in a big city elsewhere, but I can't talk about it. And Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. If you have a dog and you don't like their breath always, I have a product that really works, and I use it on my dogs. It's called Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath. So just a cap full in your dog's water every day, and it's odorless, tasteless, and it works.
Like my comedy.
Yeah. And the Inside You online store, if you want a Smallville lunchbox signed by me and Welling, there are a few available. So you might want to grab one while they last. That's all I'm saying, because Tom was in town and he signed them, and that doesn't happen because lunchboxes haven't been available in months, years, maybe. But a lot of other great stuff. It was cool. I had an article come out about this project that I'm doing, Dorothea, about this female serial killer. I'm just fascinated by it, and the story we want to tell is really compelling. So I'm hoping we get to make that. We're still a long ways from there. In the trades, it never means anything other than, hey, this might happen. But you know how things go, and so. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the process. I'm not so concerned about, is it going to go as I am like, hey, this is cool. Let's just keep having fun, keep creating, and hopefully it will continue. And then I have another, so it's like, work. It's been cool. I'm sticking to my guns on just doing what I want to do. Good. What I'm passionate about, what drives me. So that's good. All right. Why this guy, Rhys Darby, he's so funny.
So funny.
He's just a naturally funny, talented guy. I remember I saw him on What We Do in the Shadows, and I was like, who is that? That guy is awesome. I just love it. He has so much presence, and his stand-up is brilliant. It was enjoyable to have him here on the podcast.
Yeah, he's a favorite of mine.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, we got a picture with you.
Yeah,
we did.
I got it. I'll share it.
Let's get inside of Rhys Darby.
It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience. Do you hate when people say, oh, you're Australian?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it because you hate Australians, or you just would...
Well, I'm not Australian.
I know you're...
It's naive of people to, assume. It's like it's a lot of Americans, they don't have an ear for accents.
Right.
And so they get all of the different... If it's not American sounding, it's either, Scottish, English, but they get those mixed up.
Yeah.
Obviously Irish and Welsh, they have no idea.
Yeah, it's tough. But like if somebody said, if you're from the South and go, hey man, I was taking my dad's truck last night over to the farm, and you go, oh, are you from like Tennessee? And they're like, they don't get pissed. They're like, no, I'm from Mississippi or something else.
Yeah.
There is a sort of competition or what is it? A rivalry with New Zealand and Australia, especially for like football.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Sports rivalry, but also, we're two separate countries. It's not like two separate towns.
No,
we're different. But
my analogy was not good.
Yeah, that was not great.
No,
but
no.
yeah, we're not like a couple of streets away. Oh, no. There's a whole ocean between us, the Tasman.
But the accents are not dissimilar completely.
They're not a million miles apart.
What's a distinct, how would you say, give me an example of can you do an Australian accent?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're not that far apart, so if I couldn't.
So why would you
I'd
get
be
mad
useless.
if they're not far apart?
Well, because the ideologies of the two countries are so far apart.
I gotcha. There you go.
And I don't want to go into it too much.
No, I don't, because I don't even talk politics or anything. It's not that. It's just that I always notice when I go, oh, are you from Australia? They're no.
Yeah.
Is it no? No?
No.
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 Sometimes I hear no. No.
Nah.
No.
No. Well, look, I don't have a very thick New Zealand accent.
You don't?
No. Because I've lived out of the country for so long, and so mine's smoothed out, and I play a lot more kind of, he could be from anywhere in the Commonwealth.
Did you? Yeah, I get it.
And also, mainly it's about New Zealand. The strong New Zealand accent back home is can be quite hard to listen to.
Give me an example of how would that sound?
I can't even do it.
It's really
Oh, I
tough.
can't even do it. Yeah, it's hard because when I don't, I don't really. I haven't lived there long enough recently to really know.
So it kind of goes fast.
They do speak really fast.
But
yeah.
that was a great accent. That's a character.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know, but you should listen to the recording after, because that's your next character.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just had, in my head, I had all these the New Zealanders listening going, who is he? What is he doing there?
That's nothing
That's
like
not
us.
us.
Yeah. Were you always a crack up? Were you always funny? Were you always cracking jokes since you could remember?
Yeah, I've always seen the lighter side of life and insisted on it.
I like that. And that's a great quote. And insisted on it. I kind of feel the same way. I don't take myself too seriously. I don't like to take situations too seriously. Of course, there's some things like death you might have to
That's
adjust.
right. Yeah.
But suits make me uncomfortable. I just try to make light of things.
Yeah.
And that was you.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I guess you always look back at your school days. And when I was a kid, it may have been an undiagnosed kind of ADHD type thing or whatever. Maybe my attention wasn't quite there. I would, when the teachers were raving on. Sorry, teaching.
They were just bullshitting and giving us bullshit.
I would drift. Honestly, I would sort of like, I'd look around the room and I'd thinking of other things. I used to do. My friends used to get me to, because I used to draw. I just still draw now, but like sketch drawings and little cartoons. And my friends would, when a class was on, when a couple of my mates that were in this class insisted on it, they said, "Do your cartoon while we're doing this." So I'd be drawing little cartoons during class.
Did you get in trouble?
No, and more kids wanted it, so I would hand them out, and then I have no idea what was going on in the class because I'd be just too busy working on my cartoons.
So your grades weren't good?
No, they were pretty average.
Me too. I remember we had a 4-point system in high school, like a 3.0 is a good average. 4.0 is straight A students.
Right.
I graduated with a 2.4.
Wow.
So that's very average.
Yeah.
A little bit more than average, but not much.
You turned up.
Yeah, I did. But I tuned out.
Right.
I wasn't ADHD for sure. I mean, a lot of people will label themselves as that, but I mean, every therapist I've had is like, well, first of all, this is you absolutely, you have this. And so it was incredibly difficult for me to focus. I mean, it was almost, unless the teacher was really interesting and really down to earth and put things in layman's terms. I remember this teacher talking about Romeo and Juliet, and I was captivated. She was like, there was the Montagues and the Capulets, and these people were the rich, and the way she put it, and she included us, and we participated. And I don't know, if some classes all of a sudden, like, how did you get a B+ in English? One semester and then you get Ds. It was because of a substitute teacher that came in.
Interesting.
That interested me.
I like that.
Did you?
And
Yeah.
I think I'm the same. And I need to be captivated. And I did quite well in English. That was my art and English were my top subjects. And I think it's because of the use of the imagination and storytelling. And it took me into different worlds and things you had to read.
Yeah.
Or, so it was kind of, but other things, mathematics, terrible. No interest.
Terrible. Science.
I worked a little bit hard. On the journal, on like creating a nice science journal with pictures and things of test tubes. I worked hard on the title pages of my projects.
Right.
But no idea what's going on inside.
No. I remember in chemistry, I walked into the class and the first thing the teacher says is like, okay, you have to memorize the entire periodic table by the next time we come to class. I went down to the general admissions or whatever office and I switched to general science.
Straight away.
I'm like, if this is what's going to happen day one, no thanks.
Wow, good on you.
I don't want to work that hard.
That's confident.
But I do know the, what's Ne? Isn't that sodium? I don't know.
No.
Na?
No.
Fe is...
I tell you what you do. You know, NaH is the only one I know.
What's that?
Nah.
Nah. So you didn't get in trouble. Were your parents strict?
Well, it was only my mum with me. Dad, they split up when I was created.
Was that hard? I mean, obviously not, because it's all you knew.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it.
But growing up without a father probably had
I noticed that for sure as time went on. I was the baby, 9-year gap between me and the other siblings, and so that all kind of moved on with their lives. And I was like, so mum was essentially like a solo mum bringing me up. And strict, no, she was a laugh riot. She was a good time.
She thought you were funny?
Yeah, and she was funny. Mum was funny.
So you think you got your comedy, a lot of it from mom?
Yeah, definitely.
What would she do that was funny, that made you laugh?
Just her look on life was the lighter side, as I say. She danced a lot. She was jovial, and she didn't really care if I did my homework or not. She was kind of like, yeah.
Is she still with us?
No, unfortunately.
When did she pass?
2016.
So that's not that long ago.
No.
Was that difficult?
Yeah, that was hard. It was a long time coming. 80 years it took.
When I talk to you, I almost feel like in a way I'm talking to Dudley Moore sometimes, because I loved him.
Great, thank you.
Arthur's one of my favorite movies of all time. Amazing. And sometimes he would talk about something that's so tragic and then say something funny. And, I remember there was a prostitute he was at dinner with in the restaurant. Oh. And he goes, no, tell me something about yourself. And she says, when I was 6, my mother died. Oh, God damn it. Don't they know what that does to children? And it was like, what? No, when I was 11, my father left. So you had 5 relatively good years. He's like making these,
yeah.
But but I could tell it was hard for you, right?
Yeah. But what I wanted to say was that, it wasn't just suddenly, oh, now she's gone. It was a slow, there was a few years of decline.
Yeah.
So we were prepared. But yeah, she wanted to get to 80. I think it was, and she did, and we had a family get together and stuff like that. And then a few years after that, I mean, I can't remember because but it's about 80, 84 or something like that. I think maybe 82. I don't know. You have to look it up. Who cares, Rhys? No one cares.
I'm gonna look it up. Could you imagine that? And just so if you're listening and you needed this information, here you go.
Well, I don't want to get tested by my family when I get home.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you did say she was 84. It was 82.
They will say that too, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Will they listen to this?
No,
they don't listen. They
I
don't
don't think so.
Your family doesn't follow your career, and
Oh, only from the Facebook updates.
they don't watch things that you're in.
Not really. The odd thing, probably. They watched Flight of the Concords.
Our flag means death.
Yeah, I don't know how many. Some of them watch that, I think, but I don't know.
That's like your favorite thing you've done that you said. Is that one of them?
That's the biggest, most exciting, groundbreaking kind of thing I've done.
And you got a lot of acclaim for that, like a lot of
I've got I don't know if a lot of acclaim, but I've certainly felt the love. Yeah,
Did that feel good?
yeah, really good.
I mean, because most of the shit we do, we never get. No one pays attention to it, right?
Oh, not me. No, everyone looks at my stuff.
I don't know what guests you have here, but everyone loves me. Oh yeah, look at that. See,
Moving into the comfy.
part of the interview.
Yeah, I've just relaxed, guys. But I brought the mic with me, as I was instructed to do.
Inside of You is brought to you by Helix. Guys, if you know me and you've been listening, I have had a lot of neck surgeries and back surgeries. I'm constantly uncomfortable, Ryan. You know that. But you sleep most of your life. A big part of your life is sleep. And if you're not getting a good sleep every night, you're in trouble. And that's where Helix comes in. I toss and turn, and I was constantly going through mattresses, and I got a Helix, and it just worked for me. Something, the firmness, the quality of the mattress, and thank you, Helix. I couldn't do it without you. It's just a great feeling when you lie down and you're actually immediately comfortable, and you wake up and you feel refreshed. And check this out. This is Helix's new offer. 27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase, plus free bedding bundle. 2 Dream Pillows, sheet set, and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. Pretty incredible.
Go to helixsleep.com/inside for
27% off site-wide, plus 2 free Dream Pillows with mattress purchase, plus free bedding bundle, 2 Dream Pillows, sheet set, and mattress protector with any Luxe or Elite mattress. That's Helix, Helix, sleep. helixsleep.com/inside. Inside of You is brought to you by Quince. Listen to this, guys. If you're looking for really good clothing at a fraction of the cost of what it normally costs, then listen to this. This is Quince, okay? And I got a cashmere sweater for $50. Yeah, where have you ever heard of that, Ryan?
No, never.
No. Elevating my lifestyle used to mean breaking the bank, but no, not anymore. With Quince, I get high-end, versatile pieces at prices I can actually afford. Now I can upgrade my style by snagging killer luxury essentials that sync with my vibe and my wallet.
Quince has all the must-haves like Mongolian cashmere crewneck sweaters from $50, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow knit activewear.
The best part, Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands.
By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out most of the middleman and passes the savings on to us.
Yes, pretty amazing. This is a great sponsor, especially for people who like to look sharp and don't want to pay the big bucks. Quince is pretty awesome. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/inside for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/inside to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/inside. Did you always know you were going to act?
That's a good question. I think not really. I didn't think that was going to be my vocation at the beginning of time. I have gone through a few different idea jobs. Initially, I thought I was going to be a park ranger.
Really? Mm-hmm. Did you have any experience in that field?
My brother-in-law is a park ranger in New Zealand, and so that's not the reason why I wanted to get into it before him. I think I was a big fan of the Yogi Bear and
Don't laugh.
Yellowstone Park and Boo Boo.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And the ranger.
Yeah.
And I thought that ranger, he was a nice guy, despite all the picnic basket theft. And I've always loved animals, and but I really only when I was growing up in New Zealand, we have some beautiful parks, regional parks we call them, and there's many beautiful hikes, and the country is astonishing in its scenery, but we don't have many animals. It's a land of a million birds. We have a lot of bird life, beautiful bird life, but not many mammals. And I always used to watch the nature documentaries on TV, and you always see these beautiful bears and things, North American kind of animals.
And that excited you?
Yeah, I really wanted to be. If I was going to be a ranger, it would have been somewhere like Yellowstone, like in America. So that was. But then and I moved on from that dream. This is.
If acting would have happened, you would have probably done that.
You mean younger? When I was,
when you were younger.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of, I thought. Well, I was obsessed with watching British comedy, particularly Monty Python and stuff.
Of course.
So I really wanted to be a sketch comedy actor pretty early on. But then once again, the whole New Zealand thing, I thought, it's not going to really work for me over here. It's not what happens in this country. And then I found stand-up comedy, and I can do this, and so I became like a one-person sketch act in front of a few people in New Zealand.
And you would incorporate like animals, like things,
animal
not
noises,
actual animals, but noise things.
Yeah, definitely. And let's not forget, I was just a side notion of wanting to be in the military, which is what happened to me as well.
Yeah,
but brushing past that, because it's a bit. I've talked about this in many interviews, but I did join the army, and I was in there for 4 years, and I loved it. And
was it intense?
It was intense, and I went into a regular force cadet school, which was an elite training school in New Zealand for non-commissioned officers and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed it. But it was during that time I never lost my sense of humor, and my dream of wanting to be, in a sketch troupe. And so eventually I got the confidence to leave that institution. I don't think I was like an adult enough to find my proper dream. So I needed that extra bit of training and looking after, which is what the military did for me. Gave me a lot of confidence.
And structure.
Structure, which I do love. And so then when I left, I had all this confidence, and I was a proud person. I knew how to iron my clothes and fold
confidence. Was so you have structure, you have confidence, and it gave you that step you needed.
Yes. Yeah. And so then off I went, and I realized, you can achieve your dreams. You've just got to leave New Zealand.
God, people are gonna hate you for saying that.
No, but let me take that back. New Zealand, it's amazing there, but I needed to go away. I needed to take my stuff to the world.
Yeah.
And then come back to New Zealand. You hit a ceiling pretty early on and back home. And I wanted to go further. I wanted to see how far I can take my dream.
Well, it's like when I grew up in a really small town, and no one thought I amount to shit. No one really remembered my name. I was small. But I knew that in small town Indiana, I wasn't going to become what I thought I could become.
Right.
I didn't think that, I needed to go to New York or LA or wherever it was. So I go back. I love going back to Indiana, but I understand what you're saying,
It's the same thing. I think New Zealand feels like a small town for us, for like an American small town.
Yeah. Did you ever audition for Lord of the Rings? Because it filmed there.
I did audition for The Hobbit.
You did?
Yes, for Bilbo Baggins.
And what happened?
They went with Martin Freeman.
Oh.
It could have been me.
Yeah. Did you?
Sorry, I'm adjusting now.
Did you give a good audition?
Clearly not. It was a self tape, And I even had a pipe. Yeah, I was living overseas during the whole Lord of the Rings when the initial 3 came out, and he walked away with all those Oscars with the third one and everything, and it was, I think he won 13 Oscars or something. Might have been 11. Check that. That'll be my family again. Okay, you said 13.
1984. 13.
Yeah.
13. Yes. Okay.
So anyway, I was living in the UK then, so I've lived outside of New Zealand for quite some time, and then I ended up back there. I'll go back and forth, but when I got back, it just so happened to be The Hobbit, where they were creating. They're going to do The Hobbit, and I thought, oh, here we go. Because I think I embody the essence of that character. You're not a fan, but basically,
I know of
Bilbo. Yeah, he's in the Shire, in his little village, and he's very happy. He's a happy-go-lucky guy, and he's suddenly told, "Oh, you're going to go on this big mission," and he doesn't want to leave. He doesn't want to leave his little home, and he does reluctantly with his little group of hairy chaps, and off they go.
I wish you were my teacher in high school. I mean, every course, because you're delightful. It's like you're just like naturally funny and happy. I don't know, and I'm engaged. So you'd be a good teacher. And by the way, you must. I'll write it for you, or you write it. You need to do a movie called The Park Ranger.
Oh, yeah.
You need to do a park ranger where you're the park ranger and you get into a lot of shit. And it's funny, but it's also really dark. Like you think, oh, this guy gets up every morning, he folds his clothes, stuff that he learned when he was in the army and all these things. He's got this structure and this is the way he does things. And then things start fucking up.
It all goes wrong.
And he has to deal with it.
Okay.
The Park Ranger.
Wow.
Rhys Darby. The Park Ranger. They don't do voiceovers anymore and that stuff, but
we can bring that back.
Yeah, we can bring that back. But anyway, go ahead. So you auditioned for this.
Yes, the Hobbit thing.
And you learn your lines?
I must have learnt my line because I did a self-tape, so I did it all. I'd love to have a look at that and see how bad that really was.
I'm sure it was great.
I can't do accents, that's the thing. So I probably would have tried to put on an English accent.
Really? Because you did that, oh yeah, what was that accent you did earlier?
That was the
New Zealand high pitch.
The mythological New Zealand one?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I can do silly voices, don't get me wrong. I
do a lot
of animation stuff, yeah. But maybe I should have just done that. But
take some of that coffee. I could see you want it.
No, I've had some. I'm just now like...
Do you like it, or you can be honest with me?
No, I really like it.
It's a clean cup. I saw you kind of wiping something off.
Yeah, it looks...
No, it's good. Clean.
I know.
It is.
I was feeling the bumps on it.
Yeah, that didn't sound appealing to people listening.
It's got bumps on the lid.
Yeah,
but
they're real bumps.
It's part of the factory design.
Yes, part of the fact they're not just like bumps, dirt bumps, food bumps. But well, that's cool. I mean, your career is pretty crazy because I feel like you're the guy that they're like, bring in Rhys. He's the part. He's this. Like they think of a name, this part, right. That you're the guy they go to. Like, how do you pronounce his name for Flight of the Concords? I always fuck it up.
Taika?
Taika.
Yeah.
Taika. I have a feeling he just calls you for things.
Yeah, or emails.
Texts.
Yeah, texts. Yeah, but not constantly, which is good. We've got a good relationship. So he will only use me if he, really needs me. He won't throw me in everything. And it's cool because I do bring a certain thing to something that, and when it needs it, it's great to be that guy.
You elevate it.
Yeah, I think so.
Like what we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
I mean, that you elevated the shit out of that. It's so memorable. It's like people always quote that.
Yeah. It is
we're werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It's just a moment in the film where you've seen the vampires a lot and you're thinking, oh yeah, we know what these guys are up to. They're pretty funny. Let's go. And then all of a sudden it turns a corner and then there's a werewolf gang of sort of nerdy werewolves. And yeah, it was a really amazing turn that they made.
Did you improvise that line?
No. I think that was given to us by Jermaine.
Right. He's also a genius.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you close with him?
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you work on Flight for a while.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we're old buddies. Yeah.
I mean, that's great to have such a talented group of friends. You said you wanted to get in sketch comedy. Did you have to get into a group and learn how to do it, or did it just come to you? Did you ever have to take classes?
No, never took a class in my life. And that's one of
yeah. Because here people have to go to groundlings. People have to go to,
Well, that's the advantage of the New Zealand thing. So if I was dissing it before saying you got to get out of there, don't. Part of the thing, eventually you do. But growing up there, it's a small place and you make your own fun. You invent your own stuff and you train yourself with your friends and you go down and you put a show on, and there isn't training facilities for acting and for improv and stuff like that. Yet we're, one of the world's best improvising countries. So we used to have this thing, theatre sports. It still exists.
Right.
And that was the Improv World Championships.
And you did that.
I didn't do it.
You didn't?
I did some shows, but I didn't compete.
Oh, okay.
I did compete in the university improv wars, which is the national, like different universities in New Zealand. They would go up against each other and do the type of stuff. Back in the day in improv, I've got a love-hate relationship with it, the stuff you do on stage, the improvised things. I was even in an Australian version of Whose Line Is It Anyway? We did a season of that.
Was that fun?
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it nerve-wracking?
Yes, but that's part of the fun because you just don't know. You definitely need confidence to just got to step out there and do some stuff, and you have no idea whether it's going to be
land.
Yeah, it's really tightrope kind of walking.
You ever bomb? You ever start doing something and it just goes nowhere?
Kind of, but not really, because that's the whole thing with theatre sports is that you've got people around you that have to pick it up. So if you drop something, like metaphorically, and it's not work, someone will grab it and go, and they'll add to it, and so you help each other. So no one's you're never there on your own. You're in a team. So basically, I don't think there's any games. There might be one or two. Well, there's a few things that you do on your own. That's not true. But generally, especially with the TV show, you're creating stuff together. So if you go out and suddenly do something and it's not working, someone will.
Right.
Yeah, it's because they're at that level where they're so good at it.
They know what they're doing.
That's not working. I'll fix that. And then that guy will go, oh, thank God. He's thinking in his head.
Afterwards you go, oh,
yeah, thanks for saving me there, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you thinking with the fish thing?
Yeah. There's no ocean. We can't create an ocean here on boats. And we have to. Who is, in your eyes, when you think improvisational wizard, who do you think of?
Okay.
First of all, who do you think of that you haven't worked with, and who do you think of that you have worked with?
Well, Will Ferrell, I haven't worked with.
But you think
he's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he can.
Danny McBride.
Oh, yeah.
To me, he's the best with that.
Another one I haven't. I love all his stuff. So, yeah, for sure.
This guy's genius.
So, yeah, I'd put him there.
I got to improvise with him. But
oh, really?
I didn't get the part. I tested for it, and it was me and him, and I was so close, but he started riffing, and I just was right there with him, and I was nervous, but I was I just went with it, and it was so fun, and it was so you see how gifted he is. He's so relaxed when he does it. He just is throwing it around. But yeah, that was great. But who else? Who else?
Well, I would love to work with him too, and see if I could give him a good run for his money. You kind of put me. I'm no good on the spot.
But a lot of guys you've worked with are really good.
Yeah, look it up.
Look it up. Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, there's that's what you do. When people, they want you to elevate something, they bring you in to elevate the scene and maybe improvise. They always, is it where they say, let's do it as written twice, and then Rhys, do your thing?
Yeah, it depends who's directing, but generally these days I'm kind of known for being able to go off the cuff and improvise and make things better, funnier, I should say. Not always better. Sometimes really annoying. Oh, that's so great, that bit that went for 10 minutes, but we can't use it. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Yes, we'll send it to you so you can watch it.
It's for your YouTubes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your YouTubes.
But yeah, so these days, and I'm doing different things now, like various, not all comedy, like some stuff that's more dramatic, but there's a comedic element to it.
You also host shit like the Emmys, 2023, right?
That was great. So the guy that constantly writes that one, he like writes the monologues for the host. I worked with him. He, did the old look it up, and he
The old what?
The old look it up.
Look it up.
The classic.
I thought it was called Look It Up.
And he figured out that what my sensibilities were and what I'm known for at physicality on stage and stuff. And so he helped me create some stuff to do for that hosting job that were, right in my wheelhouse. So sort of impressions and things. And so he was good.
See, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not just hiring someone because, they're good. It's going, I know what he's really good at, his strengths, and I'm going to write to that.
Yes.
It's almost like when a writer is writing something for an actor.
Yeah.
They are writing to his strengths. I know he could do this. I know he could,
It makes such a difference.
It makes such a difference.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Inside of You is brought to you by Lumen. Listen to this, folks. Lumen is one of the world's first handheld metabolic coach. It is a device that can help measure your metabolism through your breath. I've got one of these, Ryan, and they're incredible. On the app, it lets you know if it detects if you're burning fat or carbs, gives you tailored guidance to help improve your nutrition, workout, sleep, and even stress management. Look, your metabolism is your body's engine. It's how your body turns the food you eat into the fuel that keeps you going.
Because your metabolism is at the center of everything your body does, optimal metabolic wellness translates to a bunch of benefits, including easier weight management, improved energy levels, better fitness results, better sleep, etc.
Lumen gives you recommendations to help improve your metabolic wellness. It also can track your cycle as well as the onset of menopause and adjust your recommendations to keep your metabolism in good shape through hormonal shifts so you can keep up your energy and stave off cravings. All you have to do, like I said, is breathe into your Lumen first thing in the morning, and it will tell you what it sees going on with your metabolism, whether you're burning mostly fats or carbs. And then Lumen gives you a personalized nutrition plan for that day based on your measurements.
You can also breathe into it before and after workouts and meals. So, Lumen can tell you exactly what's going on in your body in real time. And Lumen will give you tips to keep you on top of your wellness game.
Take the next step to helping to improve your wellness. Go to lumen.me/inside to get 20% off your Lumen. That is lumen.me/inside for 20% off your purchase. Lumen.me/inside for 20% off your purchase. Thank you, Lumen, for sponsoring this episode. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Hey, folks, it's me, Michael Rosenbaum. Listen, if you're a supporter of the podcast, if you're enjoying these interviews, we ask you if you can join Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you, and help the podcast. It's a great way to build a community and friends, and there's a lot of benefits. There's different tiers. There's one where I give you packages every couple of months, a bunch of gifts, and write a note. You get your name shouted out on the podcast and much, much more. But most importantly, you'll be helping the podcast. So if you want to become a member of Patreon and support this podcast, that would be awesome. So just go to Patreon, Patreon, patreon.com/inside of you. And I really appreciate you. Thanks. Now you live in LA. Mm-hmm. Do you go back to New Zealand a lot?
Yes. Yeah, at least twice a year.
Because you have one boy, right?
I have two.
You have two
kids.
Two kids. Because I sat, you were in front of me in the plane.
Yeah.
But I didn't see you. I saw your wife and your son, and I hadn't seen, you were like tucked away in the window. You were still sitting next to your son, but I just didn't see you.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a real rocky ride in. And I remember your son just kind of looked at your wife like, and she goes,
"Are we going to survive this?"
"It's all right."
Yeah.
Yeah. And I met you, and you just seem like such a family guy. Did you always want a family? It was an accident.
No, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, when Rosie and I got together, we got married, and then we didn't think twice about having children. I think we both thought that would be awesome, and so it just happened, and then it happened again 4 years later. So really happy to have two children, two boys that are really bizarre, artistic, and funny.
Did they want to be actors?
Well, no, I'm not sure. The oldest one, who's Finn, he's in a rock band. He's kind of
Is he good?
Yeah, he's very, very cool, very good.
He plays electric guitar.
He plays all the instruments. So he was in the jazz band at school.
Oh wow!
His band is called Great Big Cow, and they're on Spotify.
I love that.
Yeah.
Great Big Cow.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that. It's so you.
Oh, thank you.
You know, that's great.
Yeah, he is a little me in some ways, in many ways. And he's got his own. He's beating his own drum, literally. And then the little one is actually a drummer now too, so he's a musician. So they're going down the music route rather than.
Hey,
but I think that's because that's one thing I don't do, and they've got those kind of talents from the mum.
they're going their own way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
But they're taking comedy with them, so they're very funny, but they're just doing something else and then pushing comedy off to the.
Do they think you're funny?
Yeah, definitely.
Do they laugh at you a lot?
Yeah.
Do you laugh at them?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah. They're very funny.
I love that.
They're
mean,
weirdos.
do you ever get nervous when you're doing something? Do you ever get starstruck or nervous when you're on a set with a lot of people and you know it's like, oh shit, man, I got to step up here?
Yeah, I think if you're slightly out of your depth, and so I never am with comedy, but if there's some dramatic stuff I've got to do, or if there's a monologue that's quite serious. So when I did the X-Files, there was a piece there that I had to do in the graveyard with Duchovny, and I was nervous there because he's such a
idol,
iconic.
Yeah. You love that show.
Absolutely. So here I am in it, and it doesn't make sense to me. It's like when I did Yes Man with Jim Carrey. I idolized him.
Dude.
He's the other one I should have said is the improvising king. Yeah, sorry, Jim.
Jim, if you're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
It goes without saying. He's amazing. So when I was working with him as well, that was the other time. So when you're working with your heroes and you're worried that you're going to not...
let them down.
Yeah, exactly. And so it was... And particularly with the second one, with the X-Files, there was some dramatic moments there, and it was a monologue, and I hadn't done a lot of learn a whole page worth of writing kind of thing.
How long did it take you?
It took me a good couple of weeks of just walking around and just getting it in my head.
But how do they do that every week where they have to do it the next day?
Well, yeah, you get better at it, and I've since got better at it as well.
See, I'm dealing with that now where there's this project I was thinking about doing, but I was like, oh my God, I'm in every line of it's
a lot.
It's too much and it's good, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to suffer like this.
It's with the head, because you want to say it as it's coming out, as it means a lot to you, and it's it's the art of acting. So it feels real.
I want to make it second nature.
Exactly.
That's how I like
rather
to
than you're thinking, oh, what's the next word, or what's this next bit?
I wish cue cards were what's the word? Like in vogue.
Yeah, right.
Like you could just you say, oh, I'm going to use cue card. Oh, great, that's fine. And they just hold them up for you, and I can just read it, and I don't have to worry every day, and I could kill it, and I never have to learn tons of lines. Yeah. You're standing right there, and I'm looking, and I'm just going, look, I don't give a shit what you're, and I'm reading it,
you're reading
and no one would ever know.
No one would ever know.
I do my auditions. Yeah. I do a teleprompter. I have a little iPad, and I read it, and no one ever knows.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing that I do sometimes during the day, because I do a fair bit of acting, and I now feel like when I'm in real life, I'm in a scene quite often. So I'll fumble my lines or whatever at Starbucks, and I'll say, "Can I take that again?" And the guy will go, "What?" And I said, "Yeah," and he'll go, "What are you talking about?" Oh, sorry, man. I've done that a few times.
Wait a minute. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And I've done it at Trader Joe's.
Just like your regular words.
Yeah, just talking to people. And I'll
have a vanilla latte. And it's like, oh, let me take that again.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with my delivery.
I'd like a vanilla latte. No, it's too over the top. It's like, sir?
And then I'll go, I'm coming in again from the top. And then I'll walk to the front door, and he'll go, oh, God. And self-action, and I'll come in.
No one makes me laugh like this. That's the first time I think I've laughed. Have I ever laughed like that? Never on this show. 350 guests.
Oh, really?
You made me laugh. Yeah, that's... That's fucking funny. Oh my God. Do you ever get depressed?
Lightly.
Have you ever been in your life like depressed for a while or had a
No.
lot of anxiety? You've not been like that?
No.
What is it about you that you don't get anxiety or?
Always looking at the lighter side of life and insisting on it. I think.
Is there a practice you do? Do you meditate? Do you run? Do you?
I do work out. Yeah, I
do?
I think it's important to achieve exercise every day.
Yeah.
If you can, because that's something that you can achieve. If you're sitting there and you are feeling depression, anxiety coming on. I mean, this is an old adage, go and do a workout. But I'm not the first one to say that. But like I would go and do that, thinking that after that hour, you're listening to music, whatever you're listening to, just sweating it out, and then you've achieved something. And so if you do nothing else that day, you're constantly thinking, "Oh, I've done that. Remember, I did that workout. That's going to be good."
There's something to be said about that. I really believe that. I always say like anything. Like I went for a walk today, or I had a workout today, or I wrote 20 pages out of a script today, or getting things accomplished, fulfillment.
Fixing a light bulb that
I did this today.
Yeah.
Have something to accomplish.
By the way, that's quite hard, fixing a light bulb.
Yeah.
Just replace it.
How would you do it? Would you have to glue it together? I mean, you'd replace it.
Open it up.
Yeah.
Get the filament and then just sort of,
You wrote a self-described autobiographical space novel.
Yes.
This Way to Spaceship? Mm-hmm. Not This Way to the Spaceship.
This Way to Spaceship.
To Spaceship, like an alien would say.
Yeah.
And when did you write that?
2012, when I thought the world was going to end.
Did you really think the world was going to end?
Yeah.
I still think the world's going to end.
You do?
Well, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like I feel
it's
like
got to end eventually.
It's got to end.
Like my mum used to say, all good things come to an end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you look around you at all the shit. I mean, look, I'm so grateful, and there's so many great things about this world, but there's also so many dark things. But there always has been.
Yeah, always has been.
There always
and
has
we forget
been.
that.
I think so. I even said to my dad once, I go, it was never this bad. He goes, I lived through the Vietnam War. You serious?
Yeah.
It's like it's one thing after another. So I think, you get through it. But you really thought the world was going to end. So you're like, I'm writing this book.
Yeah, I want to get my thoughts out there. And I was also giving advice to people to sort of how to achieve their ultimate so that they could get invited to board this spaceship that was going to leave Earth, because they're only going to take the best.
I like that.
Well, yeah, so it was kind of
survival of the fittest.
Yeah, exactly. Finding your true self and achieving everything you can. And I gave advice on fashion and
why wouldn't you? In a book called This Way to Spaceship. Let's have a fashion section.
Yeah, there was a small.
I have a feeling this is really funny.
The book?
Yeah. Is it serious?
No,
it's funny.
It's not. It's about my
it can't
life.
Be serious. It's This Way to Spaceship.
Yeah, and then I got bored of talking about myself, so I turned it into a science fiction novel towards the end.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. I love these guys at BetterHelp, and so many people are getting the therapy they need. It's so important to give therapy a try. And so many people out there don't want to come in and meet a therapist. And what's great is this online therapy that BetterHelp has created has done so much for so many people, because you don't have to be afraid anymore. If, the stigma is gone. You could get a therapist online. And if you don't have a good first encounter, you're like, I don't really I want to try someone different. No cost, no charge. They'll change your therapist for you. It's so easy. And if you're thinking about it, if you got a lot of bottled stuff that you just need to talk to someone about it. I always find, Ryan, that when I'm talking to somebody, even if I have nothing to say, within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, I'm so glad that I'm talking to someone. Mm-hmm. Don't you?
Yeah.
It just feels like it all comes out.
Yeah.
Also, what are some of your relationship green flags? Maybe it's when your partner thoughtfully listens or anticipates your needs. We often hear about the red flags we should avoid, but what if we focus more on looking for green flags in friends and partners? If you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify green flags, actively practice them in your relationships, and embody the green flag energy yourself. Whether you're dating, married, building a friendship, or just working on yourself, it's time to form relationships that love you back. Therapy with BetterHelp can teach you positive coping skills and how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable and convenient, serving over 5 million people worldwide. Access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists with a wide range of specialties. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/inside to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/inside.
The title of the book, The Talented Farter.
Yes.
That's been a theme.
Never.
This is a wonderful story about a little boy whose only gift, his only real talent is tooting. He can make his toot sound like everything you hear in everyday life. So little Michael loved Halloween, but nothing frightened his friends more than when Michael would stink up a good scare. Can you hear that?
Oh, I heard it.
It is a lovely story, and it's beautifully illustrated by my friend Heath, and Simon & Schuster's putting it out. It's going to be in tons of bookstores and available on Amazon. I'm so proud of it.
And that's the
You
idea.
love science fiction?
Yeah, I do.
What's your favorite show?
Right now, I guess I'm a big fan of Star Trek,
Okay.
Brave New Worlds, Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds.
So I'm not that much of a fan.
Yeah. I just interviewed Simon
Strange.
Pegg yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
we were
cool.
talking about Star Trek and all that stuff. But you're a Star Trek fan.
I'm not a huge one,
Right.
but I do like that Strange New Worlds show.
Did you ever meet William Shatner?
No,
Yeah.
not yet. I'd love to meet him. I also like Star Wars.
Yeah, of course.
I
Who
like
doesn't like Star Wars?
I like all of all of those things. I like the Aliens movies.
Signed by the entire cast.
Oh my god!
Everybody. Bill Paxton, Sigourney,
Wow.
everybody.
Look, you've got The Thing. I just
Sign-
look around these posters and I can tell you these ones I like. Although you're
All right, let me ask you. Jaws, yes or no?
yes,
Fright Night.
no,
Did you ever see it?
no.
It's great.
Oh, it looks familiar.
Hoosiers.
Excuse me?
Hoosiers. It's a movie about the Indiana basketball team. It's fucking
Oh,
great.
wow.
You'd love it. Gene Hackman.
Never heard of it.
Lost Boys.
I've heard of that. That's about it's a Peter Pan one.
No. The Evil Dead.
Oh yes, I've heard of that. Haven't seen it.
Superman.
Yes.
The Return of the Living Dead.
Where?
No, right next to you.
All right.
Never seen that.
No.
The Thing.
Cool poster. Yeah, I love The Thing.
Escape from New York. Didn't see that. Well, you haven't seen any of these. The Exorcist.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen that. Very scary.
Dracula.
Love Dracula.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not so sure about that one.
So you're not a horror fan.
No, I'm not a horror fan, I guess.
Do you think it's weird that I have all these posters in my room?
No, I think it's awesome.
Do you get autographs? Do you keep
No.
memorabilia from anything you've ever done?
Yes, I try to, things that I'm being given. Like, yeah, why not? But not in the way you do, just looking around.
Well, thanks. I appreciate
It's
it.
just amazing.
I think your mom had a big influence in who you are today.
Yes.
And I would say that's why, because I always say that, you're a product of your own environment,
Mm-hmm.
right? So growing up, if you grow around, I grew up around a lot of dysfunction and things, and that I think created a lot of anxiety and why I am the way I am.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
there's a lot of good things.
These
and maybe
things
there's-
comfort you that you've got collected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe with you, it was just easy and it didn't seem like someone was telling you and barking at you and telling you to do
Yeah,
your
never.
homework. And it was just like, it was unconditional love. And that's why you're able to go about life enjoying it and not taking it too seriously for the most part.
Yeah.
And raising a family and having this kind of lifestyle because you seem like you're just a happy person. You might
Yeah.
cry after this interview, but
No, I don't. I'm pretty happy. I think you're right. It's how you're raised and the environment you're in, and that sets you up for your outlook on life.
yeah.
My dad wasn't really around, so I have that element to me, but which means I'm very, very pro women and
Good.
a little bit wary of men, and I think that's a good thing.
And you should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is called Shit Talking with Rhys Darby. These are my top tier patrons. They get to ask a question. It's kind of rapid fire. Or if you want to answer something, you can take your time.
Okay.
Go to patreon.com/inside and support the podcast. Appreciate you. Let's take a drink of our coffee real quick. How about that?
All right. I love that.
We're nearing the end of this
being
interview.
told what to do. It's my favorite.
This is, damn, your mother never did that. Why should I start telling you what to do?
Here we go.
Men. Men. We talked about this. Don G said, what would you be doing if you didn't become an actor, comedian, park ranger maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Little Lisa, what is the most useless talent you possess?
Most of me.
No, come on.
Like sound effects. Although
what sound effects do you make?
Well, I can do a helicopter.
Let me hear it. I'm closing my eyes. That sounded like it just went over my house.
There you go.
What else?
Well, there's many other sounds.
What's the best animal?
Probably a crow.
Let's hear it.
I like that. You were going to this mode of where your eyes closed and
I
you were
know.
really excited. You were waiting for this. But
It was like the most generic crow sound I've ever heard. You know what I have a talent doing?
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, here you go.
This is my new book. And it's
New book.
I wrote a fart
Amazing.
book, and it was all my farts.
Oh, wow.
They're all my real farts.
Really?
And it's about this kid whose only talent is he can make his fart sound like anything.
Oh, wow.
Like here's him as in band class.
Amazing.
So that's for you. Yeah. You'll have to check that out. You don't have to check it out now. But
How
I think
many fart noises are in there?
There's like a 10 or 11.
Is there?
Yeah, and they're all mine. And
They're
they're all
genuine?
original. They're all genuine. One
wow.
is a beatboxing, a guy who he's like dancing to beatbox music. So I kind of have real farts in, and I added a little.
Oh, wow.
So I added a little dance beat. So it was real farts mixed in.
That
But
is talent.
look at some of the quotes there. Look at Rainn Wilson's
I just
quote.
saw
Look what he
that.
says about the book.
This book is disgusting and horrible. I have read it 147 times. You got Henry Winkler.
Yeah,
Winkler.
old Wrinkler. All right, let's get back to your questions.
Okay.
Rachel D, do you have any fond memories you're willing to share about working on Flight of the Concords?
So many memories. I guess the one that springs to mind is season 1. I didn't have a dressing room. So basically, yeah, it was low budget, which is odd for HBO, but I guess they were like, get these New Zealanders, they won't know what money is. And so
I'm sure.
So there was Jermaine and Brett had they had a trailer, but it was one of those half cabs. So they got half of it each, and they open the door, and they've got almost the size of not quite a walk-in wardrobe for them to get changed in. And they shared though. They had one each.
And they were the leads.
Yeah, they were the leads. And they had one of those each. And then I used to have to get my costume on their steps going down onto the onto the ground. Yeah. So Murray is getting his my costume changes. I would just do it out in the open. And sometimes I'd be able to like go into one of their rooms if they weren't,
right.
And can I get changed in your? Yeah, no, go
So you were
ahead.
changing outside in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
God.
think that was the whole season, but that's my memory of season 1 of the low budget. Yeah.
And I bet you never complained.
No, not once.
I get, you're that kind of guy. I would have day one go, are you fucking kidding me? All right, I'm going to wiggle my dick out and everybody's going to see it.
I was like, oh, it's nice to be outside.
Nah, I don't think I would. That was like that on Sunny in Philadelphia, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I didn't have a trailer. I didn't care. I was a guest star. I came in one day and a few days. But I was like, wow, this is the lowest budget I've ever seen, ever.
Yeah.
And nobody, it was just like, we're just standing there, ready to go. I mean, but hey, it was.
I was happy to be working.
Yeah.
And I was happy to be
100%.
fulfilling my dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Niko P says, what's the one word or phrase you find yourself using too often?
That's a good one. I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
What's What do you say? Like, I always say things like, when I walk by and somebody's really loud, I just go, quiet. Well, I'll go, quiet, please.
Do you?
But people don't really think, what? Did he say that? Like, I do it in a way where it's like, quiet, please. Quiet, please.
I think I say, oh, here we go, quite a bit.
Oh, I always, here we go. You know what else I say? I say, my friend Kent always says this. Like, whenever he's like a stoner and I'll say, hey, how was the concert? Was it good? He goes, oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, bro. So that's Kent. So it's like, so now everybody always does it. Oh yeah, dude.
Wow.
Jen T, you were so incredibly hilarious on screen.
Oh, here we go.
What types of that was good. What types of comedies make you laugh, and what is the magic touch required that makes a comedy worth watching?
Yeah, so that's a good question, and I think it's
and I'll let Ryan answer. That would have been great.
It's unpredictability. So you're watching something, you have no idea where it's going to go, and it always goes. It's got to go somewhere that you don't expect, and that's why when you think of Flight of the Concords, the band meetings. For a start, why are they doing these? Sometimes we'd have emergency band meetings in the middle of a situation where I've got guys, we need to, and we'd do a roll call. It's ridiculous. So it's the sublime, the ridiculous, and things that shouldn't happen happening, but in a positive way. So get away from negative kind of elements, and then you'll have a comedy. And also the other key is the players have to be funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been great. I mean, you're such you have an electric personality. I see why people want to hire you. Mm-hmm. It's just like, I want you on my set. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, you're so easygoing. I bet you're great with the crew.
I mean, I'm friendly, of course.
I don't go out of my way to learn their names.
No, well, because when I'm working, I really, the intricate details of what I want to create in a short space of time, of how many takes I get to do something, especially if I'm guest starring. I want to make sure that I deliver, the Rhys Darby model of how things should be funny.
So you really focus on set. You're not like on set like,
no,
hey, everybody.
No.
You're quiet.
I'm quiet.
You want to save it.
Exactly.
You don't want to do like, show that you're funny and then get on there and be disappointed. Save it.
Yeah. And that's my whole thing of like the old military thing of just like focusing, discipline. And so it makes it look as though I'm, a crazy guy who's trying to, have fun with everybody. But it's not me. Like, I will be completely focused and thinking about in my head, how can I make this funny? How can I make it funnier? And I'll do the lines, but I want to make sure that I can do another take or two or three. I get better each take, by the way. Yeah. So I want to kind of bring something that is going to be memorable. So when this thing goes to air, they'll go, oh my God, there's Rhys and he's doing that amazing thing there. So I've got to have a chance to do that. If I walk away and I've only done the minimum sort of thing, so I feel like I've let myself down.
I love it.
So there's that. But also just in general, if I'm on a job and I'm working every day, I'm not just sitting there just like focusing.
Right, you relax a little more.
Yeah, exactly.
And get to know people a little.
Yeah, and the people I'm working with, we're going to have fun and stuff like that. And so you've got to be, we're there to, especially with comedies, you've got to be happy and you've got to be having fun. Otherwise, it doesn't come out that way when you watch it, and you can see
100%.
So our flag, we all got on really well. And you can see that. You can see the relationships on screen.
Yeah. Great character.
A bunch of Muppets.
That relationship you guys have is just like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's coming up next? Anything you want to promote?
Nothing I can promote other than, next year live work. So I'm a stand-up as well, as you know. And I haven't done a lot of regular stand-up. Yeah, because
you were doing stand-up constantly for a while.
Yeah, back in the day. So I'm writing a new show now. And so I'm going to be touring next year with a stand-up show. And that whole thing of whereby as soon as you go back to stand-up and start writing a show, the phone's going to start calling and they're going to want me acting in something. So I'm hoping that
No one calls.
no one calls, and because if someone does and it's big, I'm going to have to sort of postpone or whatever because I don't want to miss out on doing my other love, which is the acting thing.
Yeah.
But it's fun to be writing my own stand-up again, and
I love it. Your stand-up's so funny. What's your handle on Instagram so people could follow you and for the tour and get to
at Rhys, RHYS is my Welsh spelling of Rhys, Rhysy, IE on the end of it, at Rhys Darby.
At Rhys Darby, and you could you have to follow this guy and see him do stand-up. So that's going to happen in the beginning of next year or spring.
Yeah, from March onwards, I'll be touring this new show.
This has been an absolute joy. Did you have fun?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so good. You're
me?
so funny, man. I'm really happy you came. I asked him when we were at a con. He's like, yeah, all right. Usually it's like, he just like that.
Well, I liked your vibe straight away. I thought you're a cool guy and funny,
thanks,
and you're good with my kid and everything. And we're good judges of character, as he is as well. And
that's awesome.
So we just thought, it was the right thing to do, and I was right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Thank you, Mr. Darby. That was awesome. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. And, I met him at a con, and I just went up to him and I go, I love you. You're awesome. Would you ever do my podcast? He goes, yeah, sure. And that was it. Oh, here's my information. Let me know. That doesn't always happen.
No.
It was cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, I was very
really
pumped.
Cool of him.
Thank you, everyone out there, for listening. And if you like the podcast, write a review. They really help. I always say that, but it really helps with the algorithms and all that. And subscribe, tell your friends, get everybody to listen. And that's all we could do is just keep doing the work we're doing. And hopefully it attracts more and more people. Patreon.com/inside of you if you want your name shouted out every episode, if you want other perks like boxes sent to you and all that stuff. And now we're going to read the top tier patrons, Ryan.
Okay.
And these are the folks that really give so much to the show and keep it afloat. So I wish I could just sit here and talk about each one individually, but
why don't you?
Well, I mean, I could, but it'd take an hour. Maybe Nancy D. It's, she's been around for a long time. She's so supportive of the band. And you got little Lisa, who just supports Sunspin and the podcasts, and Yukiko. Yukiko's been here. Yukiko, I really sincerely thank you. You're awesome. Brian H., we've been to concerts together. You're amazing. Niko P., you know how much I love you and your family. Zach. Rob L., you're amazing. I mean, you've been here for a long time. Jason Dreamweaver, come on, Jason. Love seeing you. We got to do a Zoom again for the top tiers. I'm going to do that soon, so get ready for it. Who else? Sophie M., come on. Sophie M. is the sweetest. Calls me from Australia. She's a gem. Raj, you're so supportive. Good God, with everything. And you tell me what to watch, and sometimes I listen. And Jennifer N. Oh, Jennifer, you're the best. Stacey L, Jamal F. I mean, Stacey, Jamal, you guys are awesome. You've been here forever. I don't even know what to say to you. And Janelle B. I mean, you don't understand, Ryan. It's like I've been sending boxes and saying their names for so long. You've been saying their names, and it's just like family. Mike, come on, Mike. Who doesn't love Mike? Eldanzsupremo. He's got a heart of gold. Heart of gold. 99 more, of course. 99 more. I mean, you rock it out. And then there's Santiago M, who made me the statue of Lex Luthor over there. He's got a wonderful family, comes to a lot of cons. Madi S, sweet Madi S. Kendrick F, come on. You don't even know Kendrick F like I do. I love when I get to see these folks at cons and they're like, hey, I'm 99 more. I'm Belinda N. Belinda, you rock. And of course, Dave Hull. Dave's the sweetest guy. I love talking to Dave, and he's just like so calm and collective and just works hard and is such a great supporter. And Rae H, who's been around, who supports the band. And I love you. Tabitha T. Come on, Tabitha freaking T. Tom N. Of course, Tom N. Tom, no one like Tom. That's what Tom N stands for. Tahlia M. How many times have we said Tahlia M? Tahlia, sweet Tahlia. BetsyD. Betsy and I've had some good conversations. Yeah. Betsy, both her parents were hearing impaired, and she does sign language, and she's so bright and so amazing. Rhiannon rings like the bell through the night. Would you love Michelle A? Michelle A, you rock. Come on. You know you do. Jeremy C, of course. Jeremy C. How could you forget Jeremy C? You don't forget Jeremy C. And Eugene and Leah. I love them. I love their child. I love their child was screaming during a Smallville Nights once, and I loved it. Mel S, you're the best. Mel. Eric H, we love you. Oracle. Amanda R. Oracle, Eric H. I mean, Amanda R. You've been here forever. I always think of your girlfriend, Amanda Phillipson. Amanda R is awesome. William K. Bill. Old Bill K. William. He's like, don't ever call me Bill. It's William. Kevin E. Kevin, thank you so much for all the love and support, man. Couldn't do it without you. Jorel. Go ahead. You could say a few names.
That was impressive.
Yeah.
Jammin' J.
Let me tell you about Jammin' J.
You crazy Jammin' J.
You're crazy, Jammin' J. And Leanne J. I just sent boxes to them recently, and I love it. I hope you like your boxes, Leanne J and Jammin' J and Luna R. Love Luna R. Luna R. Go ahead.
And Jules M.
Jules M.
You know.
Fantastic. Been around. Jules M.
Jessica B.
Jessica B. Another one that just love seeing your name. Love writing to Jessica and checking in on you and how you're doing.
Kaylee J.
Kaylee J. Kaylee, you must have been here for, is it 4 years, Kaylee J? It's been a long time, Kaylee J.
Charlene A.
Charlene A. These names stick with you, man. They really do.
Marion Louise L.
Marion Louise Larker. Like Parker? Yeah, Marion Louise.
But Larker.
I've met Marion Louise. She's fantastic. And Romeo the Band, of course. Romeo the Band, love you. Thank you. Frank B. We love Frank B. Who else we got? Frank B's been here for a long time too, really supporting the podcast. Jen T. It's Talkerman. Can't forget her. Jen is awesome. What a fantastic soul. April R. April, we love you. April R. Randy S. Can't forget Randy S. You're the only Randy I know. Randy. Claudia, sweet Claudia and her mom. Love you guys. You know that. Rachel D. Rachel D has been here. We've talked about her. We've said her name enough. Nick W. Gotta love Nick W. What's Nick's last name? I gotta look that up. But Nick's been supporting for a long time. And of course, Stephanie and Evan. Stefan. They've been here forever. What is it? Do you really like the show that much? Do you like me? Thank you. Charlene. Come on, Charlene A. We love Charlene A. And Don Giovanni. Don G's been here for a while. Jenny B76. Can't forget her. Who else we got, Ryan?
Got Tina E.
Tina E. You rule. Tina E. Forever. Your middle name's 4, so it's Tina 4 E. Eva.
NG Tracy.
NG Tracy. I don't know what NG stands for.
Oh, I wonder if it's is it the last name first?
Negotiable Tracy.
Tracy
NG Tracy. You're the best.
Negotiable Tracy.
And Keith B is freaking awesome. Keith, you're the best. Heather and Greg Grether. They've been here forever. Forever. They're awesome. I love Heather and Greg. I think I'll be seeing them at a con. LEK. You're the best. I'm taking my time with this. LEK is just awesome. Ben B. Thanks for all your love and support. Pierre C. Couldn't do it without you. Pierre. The only Pierre on here. Sultan's hasn't been here forever, but Sultan is gaining, some stature here on the Patron. And Ingrid C, of course. Ingrid, we love you. I love your name, Ingrid. Christina S. You're the best. Christina S. Dave T. He's relatively new, but been here a bit. And David L. We love you. Jill and Brett. Thanks for supporting us. I mean, come on, Jill and Brett. Brill. Jeff G. Gotta love Jeff G. He's here. He's here. Kareem H. Kareem, thank you for being on this podcast or supporting this podcast. And Brian B. Brian B, thank you. All you guys mean a lot to me. So I just wanted to say your name very clearly and longly. And I hope you stick around and support the podcast like you have been, because without you, there's no show, man. All right, from the Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, California, I'm Michael Rosenbaum.
I'm Ryan Teos.
Little wave to the camera. We love you, and please be good to yourself and be kind. And we'll see you, Ryan. We'll see you in a week.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
See you soon.